construction worker remanded on simple larceny charge. Sadesh Das, also known as Alex, a 23-year-old construction worker from Lot 99 Block XXX Non-Perial, East Coast Demerara, has been remanded to prison following a charge of simple larceny. Das was arrested on September 4, 2025, by officers from the Enmore police station and subsequently charged on September 7th. He is accused of stealing several items from Bulram Manakram, a 31-year-old civil contractor from Mon Repos, between August 31st and September 1st, 2025. The stolen items include one cement mixer valued at $423,000, one generator set valued at $85,000, a submersible water pump with flex hose valued at $35,000. Today, at approximately 10:35 a.m., Das appeared at Sparendam Magistrates Court No. 1 before His Worship Mr. Clive Nurse, where the charge was read to him. He pleaded not guilty, but bail was denied, and he was remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to October 13, 2025, for further proceedings. Commercial sex worker arrested after incident at Georgetown Public Hospital. Big Smith News Watch reports. A commercial sex worker, known as Unruly Lilawati, was tasered and arrested by police at the Georgetown Public Hospital on Sunday morning after allegedly throwing a brick at a triage computer in the Accident and Emergency Unit. The incident occurred while the individual, reportedly under the influence, arrived at the hospital to visit music artist Lolita Calendar, who was shot multiple times at her home the previous night. Medical staff were present in the emergency room when the incident unfolded, causing alarm among both hospital personnel and patients. The damage to the computer disrupted operations in the Accident and Emergency Unit, affecting the delivery of care. Many individuals present at the hospital condemned the actions of the sex worker, highlighting concerns over safety and order within the facility. Police have since taken Unruly Lilawati into custody, and further investigations are ongoing. Fire destroys two-story building in Plantation Ross, leaving one homeless. A fire on Sunday afternoon has left one person homeless after it ravaged a two-story building in Plantation Ross, located in Region 5, Mahia Kaburbis. The blaze also destroyed 5 motorcycles and a generator belonging to customers of Leon Fraser, a 45-year-old mechanic who resided at the property. Fraser recounted the harrowing experience, stating that around 1:30 p.m., while he was repairing a motorcycle, he heard shouts of fire. Upon looking up, he saw smoke billowing from one of the windows. Rushing upstairs, he discovered that the mattress in his bedroom was ablaze. I tried to pull it to throw it outside, but I couldn't make it. The heat was too much. I messed up, Fraser said, appearing visibly shaken. This is not my house alone. It's siblings and they leave me to live here, he added, expressing his distress over the situation. Firefighters from the nearby Onverwacht fire station responded swiftly and were able to contain the fire to the single building, preventing further damage. Fraser is now seeking assistance as he has nowhere to live following the incident. Those wishing to help or contact him can reach him at telephone number 642-3727. Cyclist killed in hit-and-run accident on Ruimzate Public Road. A tragic hit-and-run incident on the Ruimzate Public Road, West Coast Demerara, resulted in the death of a 41-year-old cyclist on Sunday night. The victim has been identified as Mohammed Shahzad Wahab, a laborer from Waller's Delight. According to a statement from police headquarters, Wahab was riding alongside his brother, Ahmad Wahab, when a white minibus traveling east at high speed struck him. Ahmad reported to investigators that his brother was riding closer to the center of the northern carriageway at the time of the collision. Emergency medical technicians quickly arrived on the scene and transported Wahab to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. His body has since been taken to Ezekiel Mortuary, pending a post-mortem examination. The police have launched an investigation into the incident, as the driver of the minibus fled the scene immediately following the collision. Authorities are urging anyone with information regarding the accident to come forward to assist in their inquiries. Wanted suspect arrested in New York for 2015 murder in Guyana. Guyana Standard reports, Canon Oja, a man wanted in Guyana for the July 2015 murder of Noel Nephi Luther, has been apprehended in Queens, New York. The arrest was made by law enforcement authorities, including the New York/New Jersey Regional Fugitive Task Force, which consists of U.S. Marshals, Homeland Security, and IC Enforcement and Removal Operations, ERO. Oja was placed on a wanted bulletin in July 2019 in connection with Luther's killing. Luther, a sex worker, was shot at the intersection of Carmichael and Quamina Streets during an altercation involving Oja and his associate, Ron Andel Ford. Ford was sentenced to 20 years in prison in June 2017 after pleading guilty to manslaughter. Reports indicate that Luther had previously engaged in a paid sexual encounter with a male client. Dissatisfied with the service, the client returned less than an hour later accompanied by Oja. During this second encounter, an altercation ensued, leading to Luther being shot and killed before Oja and Ford fled the scene in a pickup truck. Luther, a resident of Lot ZZ Durban Street, Wortmanville, was tragically killed on July 22, 2015. The government of Guyana has stated that Oja's arrest follows years of cooperation between the Guyana Police Force, the Ministry of Home Affairs, the Attorney General's Chambers, and U.S. authorities under the Mutual Assistance in Criminal Matters framework. Authorities are now working on the process of extraditing Oja back to Guyana to face charges related to the murder. 11-year-old girl dies in tragic canter crash at Enmore. An 11-year-old girl, Kimberly Singh, tragically lost her life on Sunday after the canter she was traveling in crashed into a trench at Enmore New Housing Scheme, East Coast, Demerara. Police confirmed that the accident occurred around noon on the Enmore Access Road. The vehicle, identified as GAH 1139, was being driven by Kimberly's father, 40-year-old Rupnarine Singh of Hope West, Enmore. Also in the canter were her mother, 32-year-old Kamini Jairam, and her siblings aged 3, 4, and 8. According to police reports, the canter had been parked earlier at Lot 248, Hope West, at the residence of 29-year-old Riyad Narain. Rupnarine reportedly met Narain around 9 a.m. to borrow the vehicle for a family outing. Narain advised Singh to obtain permission from the vehicle's owner, Takeshand Ruplal of Clonbrook. However, Singh allegedly took the canter without formal approval while it was left parked with the keys inside. Investigators stated that Rupnarine was driving south along the access road at a high speed when he lost control of the vehicle, which subsequently veered off the road and plunged into a nearby trench. All occupants sustained injuries and were rushed to the Enmore Regional Hospital by public-spirited citizens. Unfortunately, Kimberly was pronounced dead upon arrival. Her body has been transferred to Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, where a post-mortem examination is pending. The police are continuing their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the tragic accident. Wanted man turns himself in after attempted murder of Lolita Callender. HGP Nightly News reports, Paul Davey Jr., known as Randall, has turned himself in to authorities at the Ruimveldt police station on Monday, accompanied by his attorney Cyan Durjan. Davey is wanted by the police in connection with the attempted murder of Lolita Callender, widely known as Lola Doll. The incident occurred on Saturday evening at Texas Square, East Ruimveldt, where Callender was shot more than 8 times while seated in her motorcar. Eyewitnesses reported that she was targeted by a male assailant on a motorcycle. Following the shooting, Callender was rushed to the hospital for treatment of her injuries. As the investigation continues, police have expressed their commitment to bringing all parties involved to justice. Davey's decision to surrender comes as authorities ramp up their efforts to resolve the case. Further updates are expected as the investigation unfolds. Suspect confesses to murder of missing laborer disappeared in April 2024. Police have reported a significant breakthrough in the case of a 55-year-old laborer known as Short Boy, who disappeared in April 2024. A suspect has confessed to killing him and disposing of his body in the Aberi River. According to investigators, credible information was received on Monday concerning the circumstances surrounding Short Boy's disappearance. His employer, Abbas Khan, had previously reported him missing at the Fort Wellington police station after he failed to return from a camp house at Left Bank, Aberry River, between April 28 and 29, 2024. Following the new lead, police conducted an operation at Four Door Canal, Loveless, Region 5, resulting in the arrest of 32-year-old Kishan Sampran, also known as Tolo, a laborer from Bush Lot Railway Line, West Coast Burbus. During questioning, Sampran allegedly confessed that he, Short Boy, and another man known only as Cowboy had been drinking at a location called Prem's Place along the Aberry River. He stated that after Short Boy became intoxicated and pointed his finger in Cowboy's face, Cowboy struck him with a piece of wood, causing Short Boy to collapse and bleed from the nose and ears. Sampran claimed that Short Boy died at the scene, and he, along with Cowboy, placed the body in a white salt bag and disposed of it in the river. Sampran is currently in custody at the Fort Wellington police station and is expected to accompany detectives to the crime scene for further investigation. Police have confirmed that the investigation is ongoing. GPA condemns President Ali's attack on journalists. The Guyana Press Association, GPA, has issued a strong condemnation of President Irfan Ali's treatment of journalists, particularly senior reporter Travis Chase, during a recent encounter outside the Elections Commission. In a press statement, the GPA extended its best wishes to the president and his government following their re-election, expressing hope for improved relations between the media and government officials. The association emphasized the importance of access to information and timely communication, urging elected officials from all political parties to engage more constructively with the media. The GPA criticized President Ali for labeling Chase and other journalists as opposition-aligned, noting that such rhetoric fosters an environment of hostility. The statement highlighted similar derogatory remarks made by PPP activists, including Mikhail Rodriguez, who has referred to Chase and journalist Abina Rockcliffe as Maduro puppets. The GPA pointed out that Rodriguez verbally abused journalists outside the GCOM offices, with support from other party activists, creating a hostile atmosphere for media professionals. The association condemned these actions, particularly against Rockcliffe and others who strive to report without fear or favor. International observers of the September 1st elections have noted the polarized climate in which journalists operate in Guyana, calling for a change. The GPA reiterated its commitment to advocating for the respect and protection of journalists and their vital role in society. Director of DPI criticizes Guyana Press Association, calls for focus on Travis Chase. Edward Lane, the Director of Public Information, has issued a press statement responding to claims made by the Guyana Press Association, GPA, regarding President Ali's treatment of journalist Travis Chase. Lane characterized the GPA as one of the most undemocratic, unbalanced, and congenitally biased organizations in Guyana, and criticized the association for its defense of Chase. In his statement, Lane asserted that the GPA's condemnation of the president's actions towards Chase is another instance of politically motivated bullying. He emphasized that Chase does not adhere to even the most basic protocols and ethics of journalism. Lane urged the GPA to focus on Chase's aggressively confrontational tactics towards the head of state and his inflammatory social media posts, which he described as symptomatic of a deep disregard for the People's Progressive Party Civic, PPP/C, administration. The GPA's defense and advocacy for Travis Chase must not be taken seriously, Lane stated, underscoring his view that the association lacks credibility. He affirmed that President Ali is dedicated to upholding freedom of expression in Guyana, but insisted that ethical professional conduct must align with the rule of law. The exchange highlights ongoing tensions between the government and media organizations in Guyana, as the dialogue around press freedom and journalistic ethics continues to evolve. Gold miner arrested with 26.7 pounds of narcotic, remanded to prison. Junior Anthony Greaves, a 44-year-old gold miner from Kitty Georgetown and Port Kaituma waterfront in Region 1, has been charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking after his arrest at the Eugene F. Correa International Airport in Ogle on August 24, 2025. Authorities discovered 26.7 pounds of cocaine in Greaves's possession, leading to his arrest. He was subsequently charged on August 26 and appeared in the Sparendam Magistrates Court before Magistrate Abigail Gibbs. During the court proceedings, Greaves pleaded not guilty to the charges. However, bail was denied, and he was remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to September 19, 2025, for further disclosure. Kururu resident charged with attempted murder, remanded to prison. Alan Smart, a 38-year-old resident of Kururu on the Soesdijk/Linden Highway, has been charged with attempted murder following his arrest by officers from the Timeri police station on September 1, 2025. Smart appeared in the Friendship Magistrates Court today before Magistrate Tamika Clark, where the charge was presented. He was not required to enter a plea and was subsequently remanded to prison. The charge stems from an incident involving Debbie Samuels, which allegedly occurred on August 31, 2025, in Kururu. The case has been adjourned until October 7, 2025, for further proceedings. Body of Wakenham pensioner discovered in Supinam Creek. iNews Guyana reports, the body of a 69-year-old pensioner, Abdil Ramjan Khan, was found this morning in the Supinam Creek on the Essequibo Coast, Region 2. At approximately 7:10 a.m., police were alerted by passersby who spotted a body floating in the Supinam waterfront area, near the Farmer's Wharf. Khan was found wearing only a vest and trunks, with blood visible around his ears. According to his son-in-law, Khan had left Wakenham Island alone on Sunday morning in a wooden boat, intending to buy engine parts on the Essequibo coast. When he failed to return, the son-in-law went in search of him that same night. He discovered Khan's boat moored at the Supinam waterfront and found clothing on the ground by the stelling. Concerned for his safety, the son-in-law reported Khan missing at the Aurora police station. Authorities are currently reviewing CCTV footage from the area as part of their ongoing investigation into the circumstances surrounding Khan's death. Prime Minister Phillips and Vice President Jagdeo sworn in. Brigadier Reddit Mark Phillips and Dr. Barrett Jagdeo were sworn in as Prime Minister and Vice President of Guyana on Monday, marking a new chapter for the re-elected Irfan Ali administration. President Ali was sworn in just a day prior, following the September 1, 2025, general and regional elections, which saw the People's Progressive Party Civic, PPP/C, return to power. In his remarks, President Ali emphasized that these appointments reflect the trust placed in Phillips and Jagdeo to lead the nation's development. He praised Phillips for his decades of service, particularly in the military, and described Jagdeo as a visionary whose counsel has been invaluable. As President Ali prepares to appoint the rest of his cabinet, he noted that Phillips and Jagdeo embody the unity of purpose and diversity of skills essential for effective governance. President announces approval for establishment of Guyana Law School. President Irfan Ali announced that the Council of Legal Education has granted full approval for the establishment of a law school in Guyana. The announcement was made during his inauguration address at State House. President Ali emphasized that the new law school will allow Guyanese law graduates to complete their studies locally, eliminating the need to travel to other CARICOM states. We will commence work immediately on the establishment of Guyana's very own law school, enabling hundreds to qualify as attorneys at law with full rights to practice in CARICOM countries, he stated. Discussions regarding the law school began in 2018 under the previous APNU plus AFC government and continued throughout President Ali's first term from 2020 to 2025. In 2022, the Council of Legal Education approved a proposal from the Guyanese government to provide land and buildings for the institution. A feasibility study was conducted 2 years later, paving the way for this significant development in Guyana's legal education. Amanza promises constructive engagement in Parliament. Following the confirmation of the new government by the Guyana Elections Commission, the Forward Guyana Movement, FGM, led by Amanza Waltendesser, has secured a seat in the National Assembly. In a statement to Kaider News, Waltendesser expressed gratitude to supporters and emphasized the party's commitment to transformative politics and accountability. Our agenda is clear: to give voice to the people who entrusted us with their vote, she stated. Walton Desser pledged constructive engagement in parliamentary affairs, focusing on public interest over partisanship. We will support beneficial initiatives and raise concerns responsibly, she said. Reflecting on the party's achievement, she called winning a seat an honor beyond words, emphasizing that it represents the trust of ordinary Guyanese. The FGM noted that while their seat may seem small in number, it carries significant meaning, symbolizing the hope for real change. The recent elections saw the PPP/C secure 36 seats, with FGM gaining 1. Walton Desser affirmed that their journey has just begun, promising to advocate for jobs, justice, and unity in Guyana.